Okay, 12:01. We are going to record this. I know I see some people that are just now hopping on, but we will record this. Raquel, are you already recording?
I'm recording. We're good to go. Can you see my screen?
I cannot hear you.
What? You can't hear me? Can everyone else hear me?
Are you speaking?
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you.
Okay. Man, we'll get it together.
Yes, I can hear you now. All right, let's present and rock and roll.
All right, sorry, technical difficulties, we're here. So we're gonna quickly go over some tips on social media and share our best practices. And then I'm also going to show you some of the mistakes I made in the beginning that I don't want you to make. So that's what we're gonna teach you here. But first things first, why social media? Well, of course, in the beginning, when you start your business, you reach out to people who already know, love, and trust you. But the cool thing about social media is that we have the ability to reach so many more people. Our social media supports the conversations when we're reaching out and we're inviting and we're connecting with people on social media. You have to make sure that hold on. If you're already on, can you just like mute yourself real quick? You have to make sure that when people come to your feed, that they get a reflection of who you are. Now, we are all Beachbody coaches. We all do Beachbody workouts. We're probably drinking Energize. We're drinking Shakeology. We're using collagen and power greens and beach bars, and that is great. But that's not who me, Raquel McAfee, is. My brand is myself. I have aligned with the best health and fitness company in the entire world, but I don't want to just be a walking billboard for them. I want people to come to my feed and get to know who I am. I want them to see that I'm on a journey to change my life, and I'm here to inspire others to do the same, not just sell fitness programs and supplements. And again, you can be talking to people every day, you can be inviting, but if you don't have your social media set up to showcase who you are, what you're about, the lifestyle that you're living, you're not really going to get the engagement that you're looking for. So what are our goals for posting on social media? Our goal is to add value in every post. I know that when I started this business, adding value honestly stressed me out because it was like, well, what does that mean? Ideally, we want to fall into the categories of we're educating, sharing things that we're learning on our journey, or just things in life. Maybe you have a hobby that you're just great at. Maybe you are somebody who is a great interior decorator. That's not me, but I love to follow those people because I'm constantly learning like, ooh, that's a great idea. I would never think to, set it up like that. Maybe you have other certain tips. Maybe you're a great homeschooling mom. Again, not me, but I love to follow those other women who are. Share what you know, right? Provide value in different ways. Entertain. That could be meaning sharing a funny story, sharing a funny meme, something inspiring, a quote. Share, entertain, and inspire. Your journey won't be perfect, but that's not what is inspiring. Inspiring is showing people that you're showing up and you're making it happen no matter what's happening, the chaos, the crazy, you're showing up. That is what's inspiring. So again, we're showcasing your story, who you are as a person, because at the end of the day, you're the brand. And when we do this, we build the know, like, and trust factor, because we know people could go buy a Beachbody. They could just go to beachbody.com and buy a fitness program. They could go to beachbody.com and buy Shakeology. They could go to anyone on our team and buy a fitness program. But people love to buy from people that they feel like they know, that they've got that connection with. And when you share your story and who you are, you build that know, like, and trust factor. So how do you start building a brand from scratch? So if you're brand new and you never posted on social media, totally fine. I will be the first to tell you, Jessica and I never posted on social media. We might post once every other month a picture of maybe of our family, but we have somebody who is avidly posting every single day. So if that's you, don't stress. We're going to teach you how to start building that brand. All right, Jess.
Will you go ahead and mute everybody? I couldn't do it from my end, but there's a tiny bit of background noise. And I think we might have skipped a slide.
Okay. We will get it together, you guys. Okay. Here we go. Oh, no. Here we go.
No, we will not.
Nope. There we go.
There we go. Okay. So thank you. Okay. I think that's better. I think we can hear better now. Oh, It went back one too far. There we go. Okay, so building a brand. First of all, don't get overwhelmed by the word brand. That doesn't mean anything. You're not Johnson & Johnson. You're not this huge brand. You don't have to feel like you have to turn into this commercial, perfect, beautiful social media situation in order to be successful. A brand just means, who are you, and in what ways can you provide value to the community that is surrounding you on social media? Social media meaning predominantly Facebook and Instagram. That's kind of what we're targeting here. There's a ton of other avenues, of course. There's Pinterest, there's LinkedIn, there's doing events in person. We're talking about here, who are you and in what ways can you provide value to the community that is following you and engaging with you on social media through Instagram and through Facebook. Authenticity is going to create trust within your community. Imitation is going to fall flat. So when you first start as a coach, especially now in the social media climate, there's a lot happening. There are post content, there's story content, there's people doing live IGTV, there's people doing live Facebook videos. There's a lot to look at. And there's a lot of Beachbody coaches out there that maybe you feel like, well, they're doing it this way, so maybe I should too. They're posting their workouts in stories every single day, so maybe I need to do video clips of my workout every single day too. But if that's not authentic to you, if that feels awkward and weird and it takes you 4 hours to do 3 clips of a workout video, don't do it. What matters is that you're showing up as yourself and you're showing up on your journey. For me, I love to post workout clips because I was a fitness instructor for over a decade. So for me, it takes me 3 seconds. It doesn't make me nervous. I don't ever even pay attention to it. I don't care about it. And maybe that's for you too, or maybe you've developed that in your journey. But if that's not something that feels authentic to you and it feels forced, don't stress yourself out. And that's just an example. It can be with absolutely anything. But just focus on being who you are and be where you are right now on your journey. So maybe you're somebody who you have never done Beachbody ever in your whole life, and you're starting your coaching journey at the same time as your Beachbody transformation. That was me. The second that I ordered my challenge pack, I invited people to start with me. So I didn't have a transformation coming in. I didn't have a testimonial coming in. I had a, hey, I'm going to do this. You should do this with me. That is how I started, and that is how I took people through my social media journey. Same thing for you. Maybe you've got 5, 10, 15, 20 pounds to lose. That is the journey that you're taking people on. Maybe you're at a place where you've done the transformation. You feel awesome in your body. You're trying to maintain it. That's the transfer. That's the journey that you're taking people on. Maybe you are like I was. I was working in corporate America. I was a general manager. I was working a ton of hours when I started this business, and I was getting up very early in the morning to work this business, and I was staying up after I put my baby to bed at night because I was building a side income on top of my already full-time career. Maybe that's who you are. Share how you're doing that. Open it up. Open the eyes of people to how you're building this in the cracks of your day. Maybe you're a stay-at-home mom. Show how you're doing that. So just focus on who you are, where you are in your journey, and you're sharing that authentically. And always think back when you're writing your post content and you're sharing your stories. Talk to yourself. What would you want to hear? What would inspire you? What would motivate you? What would make you laugh? What would find you valuable? Literally, it sounds ridiculous, but you are your own best customer because you know exactly what you would want to consume on social media. You know the stories that you love to watch on social media. You know the style that you like to see on social media. That is what you want to build into your brand because your people, your tribe, they're going to be attracted to that. So if you're somebody who needs to hear that you can build a business in the cracks of your day while being a mom, while working full-time in a career, while building a vision for a future self that has more flexibility, talk to that person and say what she needs to hear. For me, I needed to see that it was possible to make massive income doing this kind of work. That's what I needed to see to convince me that, you know what, I don't need this job that took a master's degree in 6 years, and I don't have to work 60 hours a week in order to make a full-time income that I'm really proud of. I needed to see that in order for me to say, yep, I'm going to do that too. So what do you need to see? What do your people need to see? What needs to motivate them to pull them into your business? And then adding value. Don't overthink this like we talked about in the slide before this. How can you educate, entertain, or inspire somebody else? And do what is natural for you. If you hate to cook, don't force yourself to share recipes because you're not going to care. I hate cooking. I hate it. The only recipes you're going to see me share are recipes that have 7 ingredients or less and take 30 minutes or less to make because I'm not a cooker. I will bake sweets all the day long, so I share lots of things that are sweet treats. I love me a good skinny margarita. But me, catching me in the kitchen, being a chef, when you send me a recipe that has ingredients and direction list this long, I'm like, that's above my pay grade. I cannot do that. No, no, no. That's not me, so you won't see me sharing it. Same thing. If you're somebody who loves fashion, you love to get the deals, whether it's Target or Amazon or Nordstrom, you love clothes and fashion, you love to share about that, all the things, accessories, purses, whatever it might be. If you love that, share that. When you find a good deal, share that. Hey, Target's got a sale going on. I just got these shoes. They're so freaking cute. Go get them. That is valuable to somebody else, because how happy are you when you see on social media that somebody shares a sale with you, or like, hey, I got this off Amazon. It's freaking legit. How awesome is that? You love when people share that with other people too. You're sharing value in those ways. Just tap into who you are naturally. If you don't love to shop naturally, don't come out trying to say, hey, I got this cute top, because you don't care about it. If you love home decor stuff and that comes naturally to you, that's your hidden talent, share cute stuff like that, because that gives people a reason to connect with you on a human level. And that's somebody that would like, man, I love her style. I would love to go out to lunch with her. I would love to travel with her. That cultivates a relationship that turns into client and or coach on your team. So every day in your content, you're adding value related to who you are and where you are in your journey. And when you're posting content and you're posting stories every single day, do I know that there's something you have that I can join? Whether it's a challenge group, it is a coach mentorship, do you have something I can join? And do I know that every day? So, because not everybody's going to check in with you every single day. But if I jumped on your stories right now in the last 24 hours, would I know there was something you had that I could join? And I definitely recommend saying it and inviting to it different ways every single day. You don't want it to feel like the same spam every day, because people will just like block it out. Change up how you're doing it, but make sure that I know if I want to join you because I want to get in your energy and get in your space, you're telling me how to do so. Good. Next step.
All right, so then let's get to the nitty gritty, because this is all good things, but we want to make sure that the photos you're posting make somebody stop their scroll. You can have the best content, the best caption, but if it doesn't pop, it won't matter. People won't scroll on except for your mom, right? And I will tell you, when I started this business, that was me. I had like 3 likes. One of them was Jessica, one of them was my mom, and one of them was probably Genevieve out of pity. And that was it, right? But we get better, okay? And don't worry so much about the likes. You will grow, you will build a community, you will get people who are excited to learn about you. Hold on, let me mute people again. But first and foremost, I want to show you, we're getting ahead of ourselves, how to make your photos pop. So first thing, helpful tips, lighting and composition. This makes a big difference. If it is dark and dull and maybe a little blurry because the lighting's not good, you won't get people who are wanting to look at your photo. So stand in front of a window. I'll show you what this looks like for natural light. You want to be facing the light and taking the photo. We'll have a picture to show you. Buy a small selfie ring light for your phone from Amazon. I think they're like maybe $10. You clip it on your phone, you plug it in, and boom, it automatically gives you a brighter light to take a picture from. The position of photos. You want to make sure that you keep your photos centered and crop out any excess empty space. We just talked about, you are the brand. You should be front and center, right? Same thing with position of photos. You don't want to take the same pose every single day. Again, I've been guilty of this, but if you just take a little look-see in your feed, you want to make sure, do I have a full body pic? Do I have an up close pic? Do I have like from this angle pic? Just making sure that you're changing it up, keeping it interesting, where people are like, oh, what is she saying today? Utilize the timer. When I figured out I had a timer on my phone, game changer, right? So you can have a timer and then use a prop. I'll show you what I have. I have like a $14 stand from Amazon. I prop it up. I use that 10-second timer. I hit the timer button and boom, I pose for a picture. I did this because my husband was tired of taking photos of me, right? And was like, no, can you do it again? No, can you do it again? It just makes it so much easier when I'm in control. I can use a timer and I can use a prop. The next tip is to stock up on photos. You don't have to post in real time. I did a post this week and I had taken that photo like 2 weeks earlier, but I had it stocked away. When my hair was done, when I had my makeup on, when I was outside in good light, I saved it. So, you know, on Sundays when we used to go to church and we were out in the public, that was usually a day when I like look cute, get my hair done. Awesome. I would take photos after church in different places around my home, outside. I might change my top. And then I have an album saved for future photos so that when I'm like, ooh, I want to post and I want to talk about the coaching opportunity, I can quickly go through my album, pick out a post, and I'll have it. Versus like, oh, dang, it's 6 o'clock. I haven't posted today. I need to get a photo, but my hair is really dirty. It needs to be washed. Currently how I am. What am I going to do? Set yourself up for success. Work smarter, not harder. Using apps. There are plenty of apps out there. Ones that we love are Facetune, Visco, and Lightroom. They're great for editing photos. If you want to learn how to edit a photo, I would suggest YouTube. That's how we've all learned. Don't get too stressed out about it, but it takes a minute. But again, it's going to go between having somebody stop and look at your photo or not. And I'm going to show you a prime example of that. And then my last key tip for you is to buy a preset filter. You can go to Etsy, search different filters, see what you like. Again, they come with instructions on how to download them to your phone. Usually it requires like a Lightroom app or some sort of app. It will make such a huge difference between you take a photo, you upload it into that app, and then boom, you can add your preset and your editing is done in like 30 seconds to a minute flat. Game changer. When we got presets, it was a game changer for us. And then you also have a nice, cohesive, consistent look to your feed. Again, don't stress about this too much. These are tips that you will get better the more you do. This is business that you get 1,000 times better by actually doing and practicing. But let me just show you real quick the next slide because I wanted to show you what this looks like. So picture on the left, as you can see, Jessica's taking a photo using natural lighting, right? So she's facing the window and she's taking a selfie instead of having her back to the light and trying to take it there. That's key. Get in window lighting. It's great. In the second picture, you'll see this is my little setup. Welcome to my home gym upstairs, which is my loft. I have that $14 Amazon stand, and then I have a ring light. This is kind of an older ring light, and I don't love it as much. I probably need to get a newer one, but they're like 80 to 100 bucks. They always run sales. It is a game changer. My videos used to be dark and dingy and scary, and I don't know why anybody ever watched them. The light will help so much. And then the last picture on the right, I just posted this picture this past weekend. The left was the original. Not terrible, like it's okay. It's not, you know, I did have a ring light that helped me with a ring light, but on the right, I popped on my filter and look how much different it pops, right? Again, it's still the same picture. I'm still the same person. It just makes it brighter, lighter, and pop where somebody wants to actually read what I have to say, okay? So top 3 tips right here, natural lighting, ring light and stand, and find a filter that you love. It'll make your life so much easier. All right, moving on. Jess, are you there?
Okay, so now you know how to build. Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Good. Hear me? Yes? Okay. So now you have kind of a few tips on how to make your photos pop. Use those same tips for when you're doing story content. So when you are talking to your camera and you're doing story content, use the same tips. Good lighting. You don't want to be dark and dingy. You can set your phone up and do hands-free mode. You can also turn your phone around if you want to have a little crisper because the front camera tends to take better quality photos and videos. So you can do that. So like for me, I normally do my workouts middle of the day and have big open windows in my living room. And so I will set my phone facing me this way, videoing with the window in the background so it's nice and bright whenever I do a video. And same thing whenever you're doing, you're talking on stories or you're doing a video to post for later, do it with nice, crisp light. Now you have your photos, you want to know what should I say with them and where do I start? First thing you want to do, again, everybody looks different. Even if you look on all the coaches on Team VIP, we post completely different. We have different voices, we have different styles, we have different backgrounds, and you should too. If you look at Rachel's versus Genevieve's versus Laura's versus mine versus Raquel. We all speak very differently. I am somebody who I don't generally write long posts because I fall asleep reading them. Like I will read 2 sentences of your post and then I'm going to skip to the end to see what you said on the last line. And then I'm going to move forward. Like I just don't have the patience for that on social media. So I don't write my posts that way because I don't have the patience to type it out either. However, if you're somebody who loves those long posts and you like to dive deep into those stories, then that's how you should post, because that means your people are going to love that too. My people like short, to the point, I ain't got time for bullshit. What are you talking about? That's how I post because that's what I like to read. So you'll figure out your rhythm and who you are, but always starting the line, no matter how you're posting, what you're talking about, your first line needs to catch someone's attention. Don't start with something that's gonna, I wanted to tell you about this today. That is boring and I'm not going to read it. So some examples, short and sweet one-liners. Diamonds were a girl's best friend and then yoga pants happened. That makes me like double take and be like, what? What are you talking about? Doing negative wording. I never thought I would feel comfortable in my own skin. So you're starting with that and you're like, ... You're like, but like, there's a but and you want to find out more. You want to lead them, give them some crumbs so that they want to find out the rest of your post. Have you ever felt like you had no control over your life? That makes me want to read on, because I bet you a ton of people reading that content are thinking, why, yes, indeed, I have felt that. Do you have an answer for me? And they want to dive in and read to see what you have to say. Using emotional power words. I was destroying my body until I discovered my secret. Well, hell yeah, I want to know what your secret is. Talk in numbers. 21 days ago, I was not the same person. 5 months ago, I was this. 5 years ago, I started my business and I made $12. Whatever it might be, capturing people's attention before you open up your post will help you to get more eyes and more readers. If it starts generically and it starts kind of bland, you're going to miss the opportunity to speak to so many people who probably really need the message that you're saying. So we're just giving you tips to help amplify your already awesome voice. You have an awesome story. You have an awesome personality. That's why you're doing this in the first place. We just want you to get in front of the right eyeballs that are going to be attracted to your team. So always start with something very catchy, pull them into your story, and then always end with a call to action. So whether I am saying, I want you to join my coach mentorship, I want you to join my challenge group, or you're just posting a lifestyle post and you're just saying, hey, I've got a trip coming up and I bought these 2 shoes for this outfit. Which shoes do you prefer, A or B? People love to engage. People love to give their opinions on social media. Social media is about community. It's about communication. The more you can create communication on your post, meaning comments, not likes, but comments within your feed, the better your social media engagement is going to grow. And the bigger relationship you're going to be building with those people. Because if I've given you my opinion on what shoes to wear on date night and what curtains to put in your bedroom, I feel like we're friends. Because like I've basically helped dress you and I've basically helped decor your home. I've given you my opinion. We're best friends now. And I feel a lot more comfortable than coming to you with a question about joining a challenge group or joining your team. So you're opening up those kind of soft invitations to talk and to create engagement. So then later when you want to talk about the business or you want to talk about the challenge group, you've already established that trust. So here's some examples on the next slide of how you can do that with your posts. Jackie did an incredible post just this week, which she was inviting to a challenge group. So she did a great story. If there's anything my mama ever taught me, it was that my body is beautiful no matter what I put on. That captures me, right? Because I'm like, what is she talking about? So then I dive in and I read her story, and she's talking about her transformation and how she went from where she was to where she is now. And then she ends with a call to action. So if you're ready to find something that will help you look in the mirror and say, damn, I look healthy and strong, drop this below. So then boom. So it started with something that pulled me in. I had to figure out what she was talking about. And then now I know how I can join her to find out more information. On the flip side, I posted this post a couple of weeks ago. Nothing to do with health, fitness, coaching, nothing. This is just me adding value into the world, and you're thinking this is not valuable, this is just adding some entertainment into the world. I'm relating to the rest of the population with this. Nothing serious, no agenda behind it, but it did create engagement because I asked a question. I'm not 14 and I will not fall into this tie-dye trend, I whispered as I clicked add to cart. So that pulls you in because you're like, what the hell are you talking about? What is she saying? And so you just want to kind of figure out what's going on. And I'm relating to people. Tie-dye is a super trend, which I found out through all the engagement under this post, that this is not tie-dye. This is acid wash or some silliness. Who knew? But who cares? It created engagement and it created conversations. So first I pulled you in, you wanted to know what I'm talking about. And then I ended with just a conversation. Am I the only one who caves on tie-dye? Everybody knows about tie-dye right now, or acid wash if you're mean, stupid. And everybody is shopping online like crazy because of the pandemic. So I'm finding a way to connect with other people who are going through a similar season that I am going through. And then that pulled in a ton of, this had nothing, no agenda behind it, but it pulled in a ton of conversation. So there's just two different examples on how you can make that work.
All right, we're finishing up and then I get to show you some embarrassing photos. So building a brand, just a reminder, you are always the main subject because you are the brand. So yes, show your family, show your pets, some friends, food, whatever it is that makes up you, but mostly you. I know if you're not used to posting on social media, you're going to be like, I feel narcissistic. I get it because I was there, Jessica was there. But again, social media is meant to be social and it's my social media. So if there was ever a time to showcase me, it's through my social media, right? So ask questions, just like Jessica said, get those engagement. That's how you build community for people who are like, oh my gosh, yes, me too. Own your truths, who you are, what you believe, and what you stand in. Now, I will say there's a caveat to that. You don't necessarily need to go hard to the paint on super political, hardcore truths, unless you're like, hey, you know what, this is me, and if you like it, great. I personally don't believe I'm gonna go in that route because what it brings is like negativity, and I don't want that on my feed, right? If anything, I always want to spin things to the positive. So I own my truths, but I try to just own them in a very positive way that is inclusive, right? Not necessarily like creating a divide, but being inclusive. Let people into your world and personality. Be unapologetically you. There are things that are make up me, and I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and that's okay. I freaking love neon right now. I don't care if I want all the neon on my body all the time. Is that for everyone? Absolutely not. People are probably like, that's ridiculous. But the people that are like me and are into it are like, yes, I love that. Where'd you get that, right? I'm going to be who I am, all the good, all the bad, because that's fun people that are my tribe. And I'll tell you, the more you are your true self, the more you get clients who are like you, and the more you get coaches on your team who are like you. And I don't know about you, but I love to work with people like me. It just makes life in this business so much more fun. Again, like we talked about, adding value, asking yourself every day, how am I serving my tribe today? How can I inspire them? How can I encourage them? Do people want to come to my feed today? Would I want to follow me and read my post? We all have those people on social media that when you're hanging out on TV or on the couch and you have a little bit of time and you're like, who do you want to go and check in on? We all have those people that we're like, ooh, what is she up to today? Ideally, we want to create that for people with us. Again, we want to see like, oh, what is Jessica up to today? I wonder what she's doing. When she was making those pickles in the washing machine, I'm like, what is she doing? But it got me engaged to be like, what's that going to look like, right? Again, who is the old you? Talk to them. I did a post that was a little bit more heartfelt where I talked about myself and where I was 5 years ago before starting this business. And it was a little bit deeper, but I was talking to the Raquel McAfee at the end of 2014 when I was going through a really hard time. And sharing, I'm on the other side of it and what I learned. And I got so many messages, not necessarily likes and not necessarily comments, but I got a lot of people on the back end sending me messages saying, thank you so much for posting that. I was in tears reading it. I relate to that so much. So again, talk to the old you, because there are people that are the old you right now, and you are that positive light in the world for them. Again, what are you struggling with it? Share it, because you never know how it's going to connect and help others like you. What's your biggest excuse, and how are you going to conquer it? Again, this is a weird time. There's a lot going on. We've done homeschooling and I have kids and all the things, but I still showed up for myself and my journey, and I shared that, and how was I making it happen, and how I had to go on unplugged walks at the end of homeschool just to like get my mind right. Share what you're doing, how you're conquering it, and how you're making it work. What are you hopeful about? Again, trying to bring positivity into the world, because there's not enough. And a lot of times on social media, there's a lot of negativity. Let's not let that be us. How did you win your day? And again, sharing your struggles is fine, but if you're still in the thick of it and haven't come out the other side, or still in a really deep, dark place, I don't believe spilling it on social media is a good look. I just don't. Others might disagree with me, but I think, again, it's fine to talk about your struggles, but unless you can spin it to win it, and you found this as what has helped me, that's when you should share. Okay. Again, that's our personal opinion. If you feel different, that's fine. But in my opinion, it comes across much better when you're sharing something and you have a positive spin on how that works. All right, wrapping up. I also want you to know it is a learning process. Okay. So it's not going to be great at first. I just told you again. This business, you get better as you go. This one on the left was my very first post as a coach, and we laugh about it to this day. It is still on. If you go and you look up in January of 2015, it's still there. I haven't taken it down because I think it's fun to look back and see how far I've come. So what did I have? One, I had a terrible looking collage, which I don't recommend collages. I had just the products only. It's like, okay, Insanity Max 30, Nutrition to the Max. I had a Shakeology bag. And then to top it all off, I had my actual Beachbody coach link of where they could go and shop my store. Do not recommend doing any of this, but I was new, I was excited, I had no idea. If you've done this, don't stress. Let's just keep it moving, but maybe we don't make that mistake again. All right. So again, on the right, I don't know what I'm doing here either. This is back in the day when we got like actual DVD sets and we didn't have Beachbody on demand. I don't know why I felt the need to show the products that I was doing, but we want to make sure that I don't recommend posting the logos, the products, and just coming all out, showing what it is, because somebody can scroll out and be like, oh, she's trying to sell me something, keep scrolling and go. I could have had a great post caption, but nobody's really excited to read what I'm offering. It looks like I'm just trying to sell them, and that's not what we do. And one more just to keep it fun. Here I am. I got my Shakeology, right? Again, a collage colored background. That's not really the vibe anymore. Maybe it was in 2015. I don't really think it was, but here I am. No surprise on what I'm offering. It just absolutely looks like, here I am spamming you, come buy this Shakeology, whatever that is. That creates resistance. People aren't excited. Change it over to the picture on the right. Jen and I, again, had my little $14 Amazon stand, came outside, put the timer on, had a little photo shoot. I don't even know what we were laughing at, but you're like, oh my God, how cute are those girls? What are they drinking out of? What is it? They look like they're having a great time. That creates the curiosity where people want to message me. And I got messages on, what is in your drink? What are y'all drinking? Oh my gosh. Where did you get those mason jars, and where did you get those straws, right? I got a lot of questions. Again, I'm creating community, connection, all the things, but so much different than me just sharing the Shakeology box. Again, if you've done this, no stress, but let's just be better. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go to this one too. Or do you want to do it, Jess?
Yes. Okay. So transformations. We are all posting transformations, whether you're posting your transformation, your client's transformation, transformations from the team, and just FYI caveat, in the team VIP family page, you will see an album that has transformations of our team. Those are always available for you to share in stories, on content, whatever. When you're doing transformations, you want to be careful that they are visually appealing, because if you post a bomb transformation, but it's backwards, people are going to be very confused. You always want to have old picture on the left, new picture on the right. So your transformation needs to read like a sentence from left to right. If you flip-flop it, people are very confused. If you put them one on top of the other, it can also be confusing. So try to keep them side by side. If you see here, this is our little Rachel here on the left. Good golly tamale. But what is great about this is it's a side by side collage. The before her is on the left, The after her is on the right. She's using the same color, similar pose, meaning she's in casual clothes. She's standing upright. You want to be careful. It's the same zoom in. Like if you have one picture that's really zoomed in and then the after picture is really zoomed out, you're not going to be able to see the transformation. It needs to be the same portion of the body. So you see on the right-hand side, she's kneeling in both pictures, same angle, same look, same selfie. You want it to look exactly the same or as close as possible. Use similar clothes, similar position, similar size. So you want to make sure that the photos look exactly the same so that you're eliminating any distractions and you're seeing the true transformation. Because if it's too distracting, meaning it's different angles of the photo, it's different views, different clothes, all of the things, people are going to be like, well, it's because of this or it's because of that. They're not able to see the true transformation. So just a little tip on that whenever you're creating those. And then we've got some tools to leave you with. These are some ideas for your first social media post. We will post this link in the chat box for you. You also have access to this in the Team VIP Facebook page in the unit section. But your first 30 social media posts, use this like a bingo card. Print this out, take a screenshot of it, and then just cross them out as you go. No particular order needed. Don't get overwhelmed by this, and don't try to come out perfect on social media. It doesn't need to be perfect. Number one, stories only last for 24 hours. Who the heck cares? It's a great way to practice and get yourself out there. Your social media content will get better and better and better. What matters is not a beautiful, perfectly colored, perfectly preset screen. What matters is that you show up consistently and that you are excited and that you are authentic to who you are. That is what matters. Everything else will develop as you go. So don't get overwhelmed, but here's some ideas for you to shoot off, a bingo board for you to start with, because you can't get better until you get going. So here's that for you. And then we have one more, like a marketing, a social media at a glance, social media weeks. We have 5 different weeks labeled for you, depending on whether you're doing a marketing plan, you're doing an invite week for coaching that's geared towards coaching, or you're doing an invite week that's geared towards challenge groups. And when I say invite week, what you're putting out on the World Wide Web, you also want to be inviting to behind the scenes. So if you are heavily talking about your challenge groups, behind the scenes on your story viewers and your engagement contests, those are the people that you're inviting to a challenge group. So you want to make sure what you're putting on your storefront, meaning your posts and your stories, is what you're talking about behind the scenes and inviting to, or it'll be a mismatch. If you're talking about coaching and then I'm watching your story and then you invite me to a challenge group, that's gonna not be cohesive. But if you're talking about your enrollment for your June challenge group and I'm viewing your story and you invite me to that June's challenge group, then I'm like, oh yes, I saw you talk about it. Yes, I would like more information. So you want your content to be cohesive with what's going on behind the scenes in your power hours every day. All right, let's open it up. Questions, comments, concerns. Feel free to unmute yourself. Hopefully this was helpful. Please let us know.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi. So, one of I have no issue like posting on social media. It's like videotaping myself, knowing that like the people I live with can hear me is kind of like awkward for me. How do you get over that?
Girl, same. So number one, find a quiet place in your house, like your bedroom, your bathroom, who cares? Or I say, Caleb, get out the house. I need to do a story and you make me feel weird. You can watch it on stories later with the rest of the world. Bye-bye. Just kick them out. That's what I do.
Yeah, I kick them out. But also I'll tell you, it just gets better. Like I used to like stress out about taking a photo in public, like, oh my God, people are watching. Now I will literally bust my stand out, set it up, take a photo. Again, the more you do it, the easier it gets. But it is harder with people that you love that are living near you. So yeah, kick them out.
Yeah, I live with 6 people, so it's like it's kind of weird sometimes.
Yeah.
Or you know what? Do it in your car. The car has great lighting. It's a great place. And people just know, like, man, Courtney and her car chats, they're so good.
on the chat that you live in the Cayman Islands. I just want to see that background. So can you?
Oh, hell yeah.
Because you've got a great outdoor background. Utilize that. Like, I want to go watch your stories just so I can see your environment. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
For sure. Good question, though. Other questions, comments, concerns? No. Was this helpful? Yes? Sideways? No. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Well, we will have this recorded. And of course, we're always available if you have questions, or Team VIP is full of helpful people. So if you want to just say, hey, I've got this photo, does it look good? Or how could I improve it? Or hey, this is the caption I think I want to use, but can somebody help me reword it? I'm a little nervous. Let us help you, because that we've been there, we've done that, we've made the awkward post. Let us share what has helped move us forward a little bit quicker. All right, y'all have an amazing day. If you're staying on to work, go on with your bad self. I am out of here. Have a good one. Bye, y'all.